Right, before I start the video, for those people who have either bought or are about to buy one of these, here's the things you need to know. FrSky controller, you will need a charger because there is no charging circuit in this this controller whatsoever, so you need a separate one. I will link this one in the description. You will need some 18500 batteries, not 18650s, they will not fit. 18500 batteries, you will need 2 of these. And if you want to have sound, you will need to have an SD card. I will be doing a video on how to sort out the gimbals. I will link that. I will also be doing a video on how to add a D8 profile if you're in Europe. That will be slightly later. Anyway, let's get on with the video. Hello there. Today we're going to be looking at the new FrSky X-lite controller. So the X-lite controller is FrSky's gaming style controller, which is interesting because when you come into FPV, if you're like me in your mid-30s, you've probably spent quite a large amount of your life playing games with these and doing flying with these in computer games. So you're used to all these things where you've got little buttons up here and all these things in the right places, and this is very natural to you, this way of holding it with your thumbs. You wouldn't pinch. Well, you might do if you're weird, but you wouldn't pitch these. The other way you come into FPV is via something like this, which is the bog standard Tyrannus, which everyone pretty much has. Now I've done a little bit of work to this, but this is what I fly with all the time. And it's okay, I've got used to it, but it doesn't ever feel that natural to me. I mean, you can pinch, so either way you can do various different things. That doesn't feel quite right to me. But what FrSky have released is their new gaming console style controller, which feels very pretty. So let's unbox it and talk about what it does. Okay, so apologies, you've got a really zoomed out view because I want to show various bits and pieces on here, so it's a bit of a wider angle than I normally do. I haven't opened this, so this is my genuine first impressions of opening it. I have been excited about getting this, but let's see what's in the box. As usual, we can get the first issue, not being able to get in. So, starters, we get a very, very nice box with X-lite written on it. That is a really good size. That will fit really nicely into my my low pro backpack. Once we open it up, we get some foam. It's all already covered. Apparently there's a dog next door. So let's take this out, put that to the side. So what else have we got in here? Now, one thing to reference, this does not come with batteries. You need specific batteries, I'll talk about that in a minute, but it does not come with batteries. If you want to pick one of these up, you need to get your own batteries. So it comes with some foam. In here we have stickers galore, instructions, yeah, we'll talk about those a little bit. And we have some screws and some covers, which we'll come to in a minute. So let's put that all to one side over here, and let's take this out of its cover. So there's a couple of bits of foam, so let's pop those off. So, and let's remove these little bits of sticky off here. There we go. So immediately I can tell you this feels really, really, really nice. The quality just feels really good. So let's just pop. So these got little gimbal protectors on there. So immediately, oh yeah, that feels. It's really weird. That feels very much like the Hall Effect gimbals. So it feels very, very similar, but the positioning, although they're not the same, feels very much like this. So let me just do this. So it's obviously a little bit smaller. Sorry, I'm a Xbox guy. I don't play PlayStation, so I haven't got a PlayStation controller. But that feels quite similar to this. So yeah, that's quite nice. So yeah, that's good. And you've got 2 little switches on the top. You've got 2 controllers up there. You've got so there's a 2-position switch there, a 2-position switch there, a 3-position switch there, and a 3-position switch there. You've got a power button. Currently, when they ship, they come in well, effectively the same setup as this. They don't have everything returns to center, whereas obviously if you fly like me, which is on mode 2, you want that so it stays wherever you put it. So you've also got a little D-pad that allows you to go through your menus. You've got a little thumbstick that also allows you to go through menus. You've got a couple of buttons. You've got some ports down the bottom here. So you've got an SD card, a USB port, a headphone jack, and another port that I'll find out what that does. I've obviously got the EU version. There's a little part on the back. Let's see if I can pop this off. There we go. So this is their new port at the back here. So this is the equivalent of this here, obviously new. So at the moment there is nothing for a Crossfire to go in here. I'm sure someone will do a mod that allows you to do that, but at the moment there isn't. So let's put that back on. And it's got an external port for a, oh come on, there you come. It's got an external SMA connector. So I will probably test that in a little while, but you can put a larger aerial on there if you want, but it also has an internal aerial. So yeah, that is very pleasing to hold. So at this point I decided to take the X-lite down the field. So as you can see here, a few of the pilots I fly with different types of controllers, so I thought I'd get their opinions on what they thought of it and have a go. Ricky flies predominantly with one of these, which he claims is the greatest controller known to man, and why would I need any more buttons? So what do you think of the X-lite?
I didn't want to like it because I'm feeling it's copying this. Now I've had Spectrum all my life, I've had 18 channels and all that, but when you're flying quadcopters, regardless of what you lot think, you need one switch, arm, that's it. You don't need to think about anything else. Everything
Not
else
quite,
is
but yeah.
Why would you need, I've been flying quadcopters for years. You just need to arm, that's all you need to do. Okay, this feels a bit Asda. This feels a bit John Lewis. It does feel very nice. But I'm a little bit irritated because you say you need one switch, and this has got me through life.
I do actually like the way that you can rest your fingers just there and you can feel all 4 switches.
Yeah.
So it's just a slight twitch away. Oh. Ooh. Wow.
That's nice, isn't it?
Oh, that is so comfortable.
Isn't it? Lovely, isn't it?
Wow.
Hold on.
So glad that I'm sat down.
You're not getting a commission for them.
That is absolutely fantastic. It just feels so natural.
Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it? The stick lengths are really...
Because yes, obviously I'm a QX7 fan. Yeah, even on those, when I first started flying with them, it felt so far apart. But this, well, I mean, on PlayStation, but Xbox, you're absolutely...
You can still do your really nice power leaps as well.
Oh. I am ever so impressed. But
that's fine.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm just glad I'm sat down, to be honest. Yeah. But I'll be standing up in a minute. But no, I'm genuinely impressed with that. It's smooth. It's fantastic. And the fact that, yes, okay, did a little roll there. It was just, rather than going, where's my switch or whatever else. But no, impressive.
Cool, thanks.
But you only need one switch, remember? Just arm.
How do you go into turtle mode, Ricky?
You don't need turtle mode.
You don't need turtle.
You just don't crash.
Hang on, what happened to your quad today?
Okay, it broke a little bit, but turtle mode wouldn't have saved it, would it? Because the arm fell off.
I'm loving the sticks. They're very, very
They're
smooth.
tight, aren't they?
Oh, beautiful. Little battery.
Oh, yeah, do you want to bring her in?
Sweet.
What do you think?
Very smooth. Yeah, love it. Very tight, very responsive. Yeah, very nice, mate. Yeah.
Cool.
I can see myself actually getting one of them.
So he's ordering one.
So we're back from the field, so let's have a bit summary of where we are with this controller. So I decided to get a few guys to fly it who aren't me, so I actually gave them a quad and flew them, I let them fly it, which is quite worrying because I was expecting to crash into the ground. But it was really good to get their views on it, and everyone seemed to really like the way it handles. In fact, some people were really debating whether they'd replace their existing controllers, and I thought that was quite an interesting place to be. So what's bad about it? So FrSky's instructions are really not great. They really frustrate me. They are not the easiest things to follow. They keep saying go online to find guides on how to do the gimbals. Yeah, I'm in the middle of my garage. I just want to wire it up. I don't really want to mess about with it. So that wasn't great. It's not really clear that you need to have a charger. There are reviews that say you need to have a charger, but it's not really clear in any of the documentation that you need a charger. It's clear you need batteries, but not clear that you need a charger, because you'd assume in this day and age that a USB would charge it, but you can't. That's a bad thing. The European one can't do D8 profiles out of the box. You have to do a bit of a fiddle. I'll do a video about how I managed to get that to work later. So that's the negatives of this controller. The positives are, I mean, the sticks, this is so comfy in terms of how you hold it. And one of the things I found really interesting when I was flying is how, as a thumber, how easy I found the throttle. It really gave me some really good throttle control of how much throttle I was applying. And I always think that one of the most important things in FPV is how well you can control your throttle. If you watch the top pilots, it's so smooth because they're so good with their throttle. I really liked that. I quite like how the interface works, how you can change your profiles. That's really good as well. That's really nice and intuitive and easy to use. Things I would like on here is a momentary switch, because these are 2 position switches, but I like a momentary switch, and the reason I like a momentary switch is for my pre-arm. So I currently have that on the little scrolly wheel at the top. I would quite like a pre-arm. I might do the mod to do that, but I'm not going to do that today. And it would be nice if it could do crossfire, but I'm sure that's coming. I mean, it's compatible with the R9 module, I think is FrSky's equivalent, so we'll see if that's any good. So let's sum this up. Right, I bought this thinking I'd buy it, review it, and I would then sell it on afterwards and continue on with my trusty Tyrannus. So, which one of these 2 becomes my daily flyer? Okay, so let's find out which one is my daily flyer. Ta-da! It's the X-lite. Now look at the extra space I've got. This is so much better. Why have I picked the X-lite? Well, the X-lite for me, it just felt so good when I was flying. It felt so natural. It had everything it needed to have. I probably will do the improvements, would put the momentary switch on there, and that will make it perfect. But overall, I was really impressed with it. So hopefully you've enjoyed my videos. If you haven't seen my videos before, I generally do things like this. I'm trying to look at it from an everyday man's perspective. So please share, like, and subscribe if you're interested. Anyway, hope to see you all next time.